At 19 years old, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I was broke, I was lost, and honestly, just felt stuck. Then I made a decision that changed my life forever. I started my own home services business that consistently makes me over $10,000 a month with no college degree. It provides me freedom. I can do whatever I want every single day, and it's my business. What I make is up to me. It even allowed me to buy this car and this car in 2024. I'm going to share with you exactly how I found, started, and scaled my home services company so you can do the same with no college degree. It all started when I was 19 years old. In August of that year, I shipped off to my college, which was a small D3 school in Lynchburg, Virginia, to go play some basketball. And let me tell you, I quickly realized that the school was not for me. I always knew this. I was always a terrible student, hated school, and always told myself if I ever got the chance to drop out, I was going to do it. So, in my misery, I started working out, hitting the gym, and learning the skills that would carry me on to do the things I've done now today. In November of 2019, I had the opportunity from an old friend of mine to help me start my first ever company, which at the time was a social media marketing agency, or SMMA for short. I decided I was gonna work with chiropractors. I was gonna run their Facebook ads to help them get more patients through the door, and actually did pretty good doing this. In November, I started learning the business. In December, I started executing. I moved back home from my college that I left, and my plan was to go to community college. The week before I was supposed to start community college, I hit my first big client. I was making good money, around 5K a month at this point, and decided to drop out. A few months later, I moved out of my parents' hometown to where I live now, and I was on top of the world. But just 1 year later, I lost everything. I partied, I didn't spend my money the right way, had a whole bunch of fun, but it came back to bite me. Working with doctors during the pandemic didn't really help either, but I won't use that as an excuse. So in the summer of 2021, I went from this 20-year-old stud running his own business, living on his own in a luxury apartment, to now waiting tables. I worked there for a few months, and then I decided that I wasn't sure that entrepreneur was for me because it was very difficult. And in between my serving job and a few months prior, I actually decided to pivot into fitness coaching and failed miserably there. Then I decided, because of that, let's get a job. Let's see if that's actually what I'm supposed to do. Maybe I'm not supposed to be an entrepreneur. Most people aren't, and that's okay. So I got a job in sales at a tech startup company. This was actually all right. They paid me around $4 to $5 grand a month, depending on my commission, and it wasn't too bad. Didn't love it, but certainly didn't hate it. Then came December 23rd of 2022. I wake up to a phone call from my boss letting me know that I had just been laid off 2 days before Christmas. I kid you not. Once again, I felt like I was at rock bottom. I had a little bit of money saved up, but not a whole lot. And now my comfortable salary was gone. I was planning on going home this day anyways to see my parents for the holiday. When I got home, I broke the news to them. I told them I'd just been laid off and I had no idea what I was going to do. But the second I got off the phone with my boss, I told myself I was going to be something. I was going to make something of myself. Then I decided I wanted to get back into entrepreneurship, but not what I had done before. I wanted to do something different this time. I wanted to be in a business where people wanted to come to me. I didn't have to go out to them, cold DM them, cold call, and cold sell them. I wanted people to come to me looking for my services. So I took a look at the market. I said, what skills, what businesses are in demand right now that not enough people are fulfilling? And what I found next changed my life. What I found was the home services business model. I saw that most people my age, I was 22 at the time, so people in their 20s and 30s either want to work remote or they want to run an online business. We have all these people that are Gen X's, 50, 60 years old, running these home service businesses with no one behind them to fill the need. When these people retire, there's going to be all these businesses for sale and all these services that are going to be needed by homeowners and no one behind them to step in. So I saw the opportunity and I decided to seize it. Now, the best thing about this opportunity is there's little to no saturation in most markets. As you know, if you've run an online business before, the saturation is crazy, especially with SMMA. I actually tried to get back into SMMA in 2023, and I realized it was no longer about, hey, just shooting a DM or an email to a doctor and getting them on the phone and doing a free trial and providing a good service for them. It wasn't about that anymore. It was about how big is your ad budget? What irresistible offer could you come up with? And I realized because the game had pivoted to this, it was just people that had a whole bunch of money and were really damn good at lying to doctors, to sell them on their irresistible offer, which wasn't really that good anyways. So I tried it and I realized this was no longer for me. And then the decision came. I decided, let's go all in on this. Let's use my marketing background and blow this thing up and actually see if I'm right. See if my research led me to the right path. So I decided to ditch the marketing and go all in on my business. So I started to learn the trade of wallpaper installation. My mother did it, so I decided that was the skill I was going to pursue. I reached out to other installers, started shadowing jobs with them, and then I started knowing my marketing background. I started to put myself out there. I made my first Google business page. I made my social medias, and I was starting to get some referrals from some of the installers I was working with. And in 3 months, from January of 2023 to March of 2023, I went from 0 to 10K a month in just 3 months. This business model is that powerful. This was with barely any systems in place. No CRM, just a Google My Business page, just a social media, and a $100 website that I bought from a guy on Fiverr. Then I decided when I went all in on this business, I was going to really grow it. I was going to systemize it. I was going to get a better website. I was going to get better social media. And that is how I was able to make $23,000 in the month of July of 2024. Here's why home services businesses are the most underrated way to make 10K a month right now. Number one, low startup cost. Depending on your trade, you're going to be spending anywhere from just a few $100 to maybe up to $1,000 or $1,500. But my trade only cost me about $600 or $700 at the time to get all of the equipment. Yes, I had a vehicle at the time, so if you want to factor a truck payment into that, by all means do so. But here's where it gets even crazier. Once you have your equipment, the margins that you can make are better than almost any business model out there. I keep just about everything I make. I'm talking everything. My expenses are the paste I need to put on the back of the wallpaper to stick it to the wall and gasoline. That is it. The second reason is high demand. Like I mentioned earlier, these niches are extremely unsaturated, so you're not going to have a lot of competition. I actually had a student in my mentorship come into the program. He wants to do wallpaper installation, so he's learning how to do it. He created a Google page like I told him to do. He even marked it as temporary closed, and he still got phone calls within just a few days of launching it. And he's not in just the sticks or the boonies. He's in a bigger city, a city that you would know, managed to get this in just a few days. Just wait till he optimizes his page. When he has the photos of his work, when he has reviews from his customers, he is going to be blown up with work just from one source. That's how crazy this business model right now is. That's how insane this opportunity is. Everyone's looking over here at online business, but people who really want to win are looking here at home services. The third thing is quick cash flow. You can land your first client in literally your first day of doing this. We had another student come into our program who decided to take after my business partner and do window cleaning business. He went to Lowe's, got the bare essentials, and he started knocking doors, and in his first week got $1,000 in sales. If that right there alone doesn't demonstrate the power of home services right now, I don't know what will. And the fourth thing is it is extremely scalable. Once you have your systems put into place, you have a consistent lead flow, it's pretty easy to hire people for this. Again, for my niche, it's a little bit more difficult because I work in a specialty trade. It does take more time to actually get these people trained up. But for a non-specialty trade, like windows or pressure washing or pest control, where you can literally just get the equipment and just wash some windows, anyone can do it. Once you have the demand, you can hire, automate, and the sky is the limit. You can go as crazy as you want. You can sell to 6, 7, even 8 figures. Think about this for a second. Think about the richest people that you know. Are any of them online coaches? Do any of them run a marketing agency? Some of them do, to be fair, but they run a big agency that work with big Fortune 500 companies. It's not your little marketing agency that works with local businesses, your chiropractors, your gyms, your real estate agents. They're not doing it that big. I'm talking billionaires, people with private jets, with a fleet of trucks. These are all boring businesses they do. Iman Ghazi even made a video on a private jet that he said he asked the stewardess what the owner of the jet does. Would you like to know what they did? Waste management. The boring businesses will make you the most money. Don't sleep on them. So now that you know the power of home services and you want to get started, how do you start? I'm going to lay it out in 3 simple steps for you. Step number 1, you need to pick your niche. You can do your research on this, ask ChatGPT, or even if you have some friends doing it or you know some people in the trades, ask them what they do. Some recommendations for you would be pest control, window cleaning, pressure washing, even wallpaper installation, which is what I do if you want to do that. Even things like car detailing. Think of anything that a homeowner would need. They need their grass mowed, they need their gutter cleaned, they need their windows cleaned, they need their roofs cleaned, they need their driveways cleaned, they need their cars cleaned. You can get creative with this. Just think about what any homeowner would need from you. and go from there. If you have an idea of something that you like to do, or you have previous experience, or you know someone that's doing something, just do that. Don't take too long to pick your niche. All of them are good. The second is now going to be to learn the skill. And there's 2 ways I recommend doing this. Number one, and the best way, is to reach out to someone who you know is already doing it. Or if you don't know them, find a local business. Let's say you want to do pressure washing. If you know someone doing pressure washing, reach out to them, ask to shadow jobs. If you don't know anyone, go to Google, type in pressure washing companies near me, find them, call them, say, I'm interested in what you do. I'd love to come out to a job site and learn from you. 9 out of 10 of them will say absolutely yes. Most of these people need the help. And the third thing to do is learn how to market, learn how to get jobs on your own. Use things like Google My Business, social media, website, and referrals to start getting consistent job flow for your business. And that is it. That is the 3 steps. That's all you need to do. Now, I have built an exact in-detail roadmap on how to go from 0 to 10K a month in just 3 months or 45 days like my business partner did. If you want that roadmap, follow me on Instagram. My link will be in the description of this video. DM me the word service and I will reach out to you and hook you guys up. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it informative. Make sure to leave a like on this video if you did, share it with a friend, and hit that subscribe button because I'm bringing you guys the most value out of anyone in this niche.